So we had 21st Jump Street, then we had Let's Be Cops, and now we have Chips.
We're the California Highway Patrol. Without us out there,
Oh, come on, what the heck?
someone could get hurt!
Welcome back, guys. I just watched the movie Chips starring Michael Pena and Dax Shepard, and to my surprise, I actually didn't know that this movie was based on the show from the 70s. And since I wasn't born in the 70s, I had no clue what this show was about, but I did go back and look for some of the scenes to get a feel about what the show was. And to my surprise, I actually liked it. I actually liked how corny and like cheesy the acting was, but it worked for that type of comedy and show. Now, if you're a big fan of that show and you think the movie's gonna be something similar to that, then well, you're not gonna get any of that because this movie is rated R and they make sure to like reflect that in this movie. And this movie is basically like any other buddy cop movie. You have two guys going like infiltrating stuff, and in this case, Michael Pena and Dax Shepard are like playing this pro FBI agent and then a rookie officer who are infiltrating the California Highway Patrol to see who is doing this inside job of planning heists. And the reason I say that you may not like this movie if you're a big fan of the show is because like I think 80% of the jokes in this movie is like nothing but like raunchy and like sex jokes. I think like 50% of the jokes were in the trailer itself. Some of them were delivered actually pretty well, like the one where like Michael Pena is carrying Dax to like the bathroom and like his dick hits his face or something like that. The way that joke was delivered was still freaking hilarious, and I think that was like the one moment where I laughed out loud. The only bad thing was that we already saw that in the trailer, so we knew what to expect from the movie. A lot of it's like just sexting, sex jokes, and even gay jokes. So if you guys are not into that type of comedy or like kind of jokes, then you're probably not gonna like this movie. But since I'm immature, I definitely like that type of comedy. Now, the cast of the movie was actually pretty okay. Like I think Michael Pena played Michael Pena like he does in every other movie that he's in. Like in Ant-Man, like he was basically that Michael Pena from Ant-Man. Except in the beginning of the movie, we know that he's like this cocky ass like pro FBI agent, but at the same time, like I wasn't buying his performance. I just couldn't see him in a serious role like that. It took me a while for me to adjust to that type of performance that he was delivering because it wasn't convincing to me. And to my surprise, Dax Shepard, I have never really seen him in any movies, and I think the only times I ever seen him was in the funny Samsung commercials that he's with Kristen Bell. But in this movie, he was freaking hilarious. Also, I didn't know Vincent D'Onofrio was in this movie. This guy is freaking good at anything he does. Like he is so good at anything. He was good in Daredevil, and he was freaking good in Magnificent Seven, and he's actually pretty good in this one too. And then we have Kristen Bell, which was in the movie, but at the same time, I felt like she shouldn't have been in the movie at all because she really didn't add much besides like the whole plot point where she's Dax's wife in real life and in the movie. But you know, she's like the damsel in distress at points, but at the same time, she doesn't give a shit about Dax. But whatever. Now, the movie is nothing like the 70s show. It's kind of cheesy at points, but at the same time is mainly focusing on those sex jokes. Like that's what drives this movie. It's nothing but like freaking sex jokes. Like there's almost like a sex joke in every scene. The story is pretty predictable. You can kind of find out who's like the freaking bad apples in the California Highway Patrol from the beginning. So it's kind of obvious, but at the same time, the movie does progress pretty fast and it's freaking fast paced. So whenever like some of the jokes don't land, the movie just moves along pretty quick, kind of makes me forget what the bad joke was. There is also one scene in the movie that I just couldn't believe they let it get into the actual final product of this film. It's like a freaking cut and it looks like the movie froze for a second, and I was just like, what the hell just happened? But then the movie continues on like nothing like that happened. And I noticed that a lot of people that went with me were like, what the fuck just happened? And I was like what was that? And it's the scene where they're interviewing this witness and like this guy comes out and attacks Michael Pena, and it was like a confusing ass moment in the movie. So I don't know how they let that get in there, but it was really bad. But overall, we've seen this type of comedies before, you know, the body cup pair up, and it's nothing new. I think the comedy was pretty funny, especially because I mean, I guess I'm into that raunchy type of humor, and Michael Pena and Dax Shepard were actually pretty good as a team. It's nothing new that we haven't seen, like for example in 21st Jump Street or like Let's Be Cops. There were some really funny moments in this movie, and then again some of the other jokes were landing for me. And then towards the end of the movie, they do throw in like a lot of references that I noticed from the 70s show, and they do bring back like a big surprise, and that's when the theater went freaking crazy. Like even I was surprised. I'm like, oh shit, I did not expect that, which was a pretty cool moment even for somebody that has no clue what the 70s show was about. And I think I watched like only a couple of scenes, and even that made me go like, what, that's pretty cool. But guys, overall it was pretty fun to watch. It was a pretty good movie. It's nothing new that I haven't seen before. There are a lot of great movies out there right now in March that I've seen and are so freaking good. I would probably recommend this to you guys if you've already seen Logan, Beauty and the Beast, King Kong, and then the Power Rangers. If you've seen all those movies, then if you have nothing else to do, go watch Chips because it is pretty funny, especially if you're into that raunchy type of comedy. I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 5. If you guys think this movie is like completely destroying what the 70s show portrayed, then please let me know down in the comments below, because I obviously have no idea what the 70s shows was really about. I've only watched like 30 minutes of like an episode, and I think I got enough to know what the 70s shows was like, which was pretty good, by the way. But yeah guys, stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, because I will be watching the Power Rangers movie over the weekend, so make sure to check that out on Saturday or Sunday. I am excited about that movie because I'm a big Power Rangers fan since I was a little kid. Also, if you guys think this movie is good for a friend or something like that, share this video to them, let them know that, you know, this is what I think. Or if you agree with me, then let other people know. If you don't agree with me, also leave it down in the comments, because I want to know people's opinions. So if you guys are checking out this movie on the weekend, let me know. Also, if you have already watched it, let me know in the comments as well. But as always guys, stay tuned.